She thought about checking, but this time she didn't. The phone was right there, exactly where she had left it. On the table next to her coffee, the screen was dark now, still, quiet, and for the first time in a long time, Eleanor didn't feel the need to pick it up. The thought crossed her mind, of course, it always did. A small impulse, almost automatic. What if there was a reply? What if something had changed? What if... She stopped herself. Not forcefully, not with resistance. Just gently. Like interrupting a thought that no longer belonged to her. She reached for her coffee instead. Still warm, the steam rising slowly into the quiet room. Outside the window, the day had already begun. People walking, cars passing, everything moving forward as it always did. Elena sat still, present, aware, but not waiting. That was the difference. There had been a time when morning started with her phone, before anything else, before coffee, before the window, before herself. Checking. Scrolling, looking for something that might not be there, and when it wasn't, looking again, as if repetition could create a different outcome. But something had shifted, not suddenly, not dramatically, just over time. Small realizations, quiet moments, tiny decisions that didn't seem important at the time, until they were. She glanced at the phone, just once. It hadn't moved. Of course it hadn't. Nothing had changed. And that was the point. Not everything changes when we expect it to. And not everything needs to. Elena leaned back slightly in her chair. The light from the window touched her face in that soft, familiar way. She closed her eyes for a second, not to escape, just to feel the stillness, because there was something new in that stillness, something she hadn't noticed before. Peace. Not the kind that comes from everything being perfect, but the kind that comes from no longer needing things to be different. She opened her eyes again, looked at the table, at the phone, at the quiet space around it, and she realized something simple. She didn't need to check, not now. Maybe not later either, because whatever was there or wasn't there no longer defined how she felt. That realization didn't feel dramatic. It didn't feel like a turning point. It felt natural, as if it had been building quietly, waiting for her to notice. She stood up slowly, walked toward the window. The city looked the same, unchanged, unaware. And yet everything felt slightly different. Not outside, inside. She rested her hand lightly on the glass. Cool, still, real, grounding. There had been so many moments like this before, standing here, thinking about what might happen next, waiting for something to arrive, something to confirm, something to change the direction of her day. But this time, there was no waiting, no expectation, no quiet tension sitting in the background, just presence, just now. She turned back toward the table. The phone was still there, unmoved, unnecessary. Elena walked past it, not ignoring it, not avoiding it, just not needing it. She picked up her cup instead, took a slow sip, and allowed the moment to exist exactly as it was. Complete, without interruption, without questions, without the need to check again. Because sometimes the final step isn't letting go of something, it's realizing you already have. And for the first time, Elena didn't check, not because she was trying not to, but because she no longer needed to.